Welcome to the Teacher RockStar podcast. The podcast is dedicated to providing valuable insights, practical tips, and proven strategies to equip new teachers for success. I'm your host, Steve Hiles, educator, published author, and instructional coach. Join me in each episode as we offer a supportive platform for navigating the challenges of the teaching profession. Okay, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing how a giant pencil put an end to my bullying in my classroom. At the end of this episode, you're going to learn a strategy that has made a huge difference in our class. Okay. Now, I want to tell you about the time I had to tackle bullying in my classroom. It wasn't one of those Hollywood style face-offs, but it did feel a bit like I was solving a mystery. Picture this. It was mid-October, just when students start to feel a little too comfortable, if you know what I mean here. I started noticing a few things: side glances, whispers, and one particular student who I'll call Tommy, who had suddenly become more interested in his shoelaces than in raising his hand. Uh, Now, I knew something was off, so I took a deep breath, called a class meeting, and channeled my best detective persona. First rule of thumb: address it head on, but with empathy. I didn't accuse or point fingers. We discussed how words and actions impact others. We brainstormed what kindness looks like, and it became clear who the culprits were. Though I didn't call them out by name, they shifted uncomfortably in their seats, suddenly fascinated by the carpet pattern. Next step: create a buddy system. You know the saying, it takes a village? I found out that when kids feel connected to one another, they're less likely to bully. So I paired students up in rotating groups for classroom activities. It forced them to interact with someone new, not just their friends, and to develop a sense of teamwork. Tommy, well, I made him captain, okay, of a small group. And let's just say his confidence skyrocketed. He went from shoelace watcher to the group's lead cheerleader. Of course, the real turning point was when I introduced the shout-out wall. Every week, students could write positive notes about their classmates and stick them on the board. At first, there were some giggles. I had to lead by example, so I wrote, "Tommy is a math genius," and posted it up there. The next thing you know, the wall was filled. Okay, compliments became contagious. Even the shy ones started chiming in. And you know what? Bullies didn't thrive in environments where everyone's being lifted up. That was really, really cool there. Finally, I implemented restorative circles. Whenever there was an issue, we'd sit in a circle and talk it out. No one was allowed to speak unless they were holding, you guessed it, the talking stick, which was actually a giant pencil I found in the Lost and Found, and it worked like magic. Kids were able to express their feelings, hear each other out, and solve problems together. All right. And that's how bullying went from being a classroom issue to a bonding experience. And by the end of the year, even side glance Sally was writing shout outs. And Tommy, well, he was too busy running the class math challenge to even remember how he used to avoid eye contact. Now, the moral of the story: a little empathy, some creative systems, and a giant pencil can solve almost anything. Well, my friend, we have come to the end of today's episode. Thank you for listening to the Teacher RockStar podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hiles. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. And remember, my friend, you got this. Are you a teacher who finds yourself drowning in the challenges of classroom management? Do student behaviors leave you feeling overwhelmed and drained at the end of each day? Picture this: a classroom where your students are not just present, but fully engaged, focused, and eager to learn. Say goodbye to classroom management stress and hello to success. The Teacher RockStar Academy course is meticulously designed to equip you with the tools and strategies needed to skyrocket your effectiveness as a teacher. Curious to know if the Teacher RockStar Academy course is the missing piece in your teaching journey? If you're ready to reclaim control of your classroom and witness the incredible impact on your students, then use the link in the podcast description to learn more about this program.
You've been listening to the Teacher RockStar podcast. with your host, Steve Hiles. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast as much as we have. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our ever-growing community of Teacher RockStars. Until then, thanks for listening.